Alright, here we go. TC sandblasted. Terrain control. It's kind of like a battlefield, where you have a certain number of tickets on either side, and once enough players have died on a certain side, then that team loses. And controlling more bases on the map will increase the rate that the tickets go down on your opponent's side. TC sandblasted is so being an aircraft is usually not the best idea. Alright, even though I would normally join Intersphere since they are losing, I'm going to join Clan because there's more room on there. Okay, so I can spawn at a forward base or at the main base. Since I'm not getting an aircraft and the forward bases in this map, which are north and south, they can spawn any size of mech or vehicle. There's no repairs there, but it'll be fine for me to be there. Alright, I'm going to hit comma to open up the buy menu. And I want something to make a lot of money fast. So I can either go with like the Uller Foxtrot, which will allow me to put out a lot of damage, or I can go with something like the Owens Echo with its MRMs, though those can be a little hard to use, because it's got C3. That's not why it's hard to use, but the C3 is good for getting money. The Prime also does it, but the LRMs don't put out much damage, and the Gulf can be pretty good as long as you have a good spot to shoot from. I'm going to go with the Echo.
Assembly in progress.
There's all these markers all over the map, and they're kind of annoying. I'm going to hit O, and that makes most of them go away. The one marker that's still left, that's whatever base I have highlighted in my main map, which I can access with M. See how I've clicked on the map here? That's what caused this icon here to show up. Alright, I used F to get in. Well, actually F1, but most people's action maps are going to have F as the button to get in. This game is throttle-based. W is throttle forward, and S is throttle back, but it's just increase and decrease throttle. Normally I wouldn't hold still, it's a bad idea, but they're not looking at me very much. And they're dead. Look how much money we already have. And I don't want to lose that arm. Now remember, there's no repairs there, so I'll need to find the exit. There it is. Okay, so the center base has a repair bay. I'll head there. So MRMs, they have 650 meters of range, which is pretty respectable, and they travel quite quickly, but they follow your cursor or your reticle on screen. Because they follow your reticle, you need to put it right over your enemy. You can lead your shots by a little bit at first when you initially launch them, but you've definitely got your reticle on your enemy before it hits them, or before it goes past them, because it'll go right past them otherwise. And you won't even hit them with any missiles. They don't work very well against really fast targets like Black Lanterns. And they work especially well against tanks. So C3, which is radar sharing, and that's what gives me that C-bill income. That's constant, that's occurring right now. It only works while my radar is active, and that's activated and turned off with R. It only works out to 1,000 meters, so only my allies within 1,000 meters will actually be able to see the radar I'm sharing to them. An assault mech. That'll be good for getting some C-bills, as long as I don't die. So I just unlocked my reticle there. I used T to unlock it, but you can also do it with left alt is the default button for it. X is reduce throttle, or is drop throttle to 0, and it will stop you faster than just throttling down with S. I'm continuing to walk around this mauler to keep it from hitting me. If I just stood still, it would kill me real fast. And I'm within the minimum range of my medium-range missiles. They have only 40 meters, so it's not going to be any good. Ah, I'm going to die. My back torso was shot out, so I couldn't run. Alright, this time we're going to spawn back at main base, because the center base does not have a mech bay. I worked my way a little bit up the scoreboard, one place. So, I spawned with 49,000 C-bills, and I didn't get to keep any of the C-bills from before, because I had less than 49,000 C-bills. If I had more than 49,000 C-bills, I would have spawned with that much instead. On this map, I have found that the Uller Charlie's pretty good. But then again, it's good on almost any map. The problem with this is its weak arms. The Uller Alpha will let me sit back a little ways, and so I don't have to worry as much about my arms getting shot off. And that is not the Uller Charlie, or the Alpha. That's New Seal. I've seen mech kill itself with a PPC before. So currently, the button for unlocking your arm reticle from your torso reticle is left alt, like this. And if it gets stuck, it's actually mapped to F4 to fix it. So it'll look like this when it gets stuck the wrong way. And you can actually play like this. I don't recommend it. It's really hard. So if it's ever like this, just hit F4 and it'll lock it back in the center. A vulture. So shooting bigger assets than you will get you the most C-bills the fastest. Not necessarily the best strategy though, because larger assets typically have fewer weapons per ton of mech. So, like a Fafnir, it may have 40 tons worth of, not 40, it'd be more like 54, 60, maybe 60 tons worth of equipment. That's less than, that's just a little more than half of its total tonnage. And Osiris has a larger proportion of its weapons as its tonnage, so it works a lot better if you go after light mechs first, if you want to kill the most damage out on the field. And then kill the heavies and assaults once you get all the lights killed. Alright, so I'm powering down with P inside of the hangar here, and I'm hitting escape twice to bring up the health menu, or the paper doll on the right there. Ah, and they've just triggered my cooldown on being able to repair. Wow, that repair was not very productive.
Target destroyed.
Well, maybe I can go repair now. So you're, when you get powered down and you get shot, I believe it's 10 seconds until you can start repairing again. And you can just sit there and wait, or you can leave and come back. As long as you wait 10 seconds.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online.
Now for
All
donation,
systems
it's right control. And you can actually use your arrow buttons, or arrow keys, to change the amount. Whether you want to give a 10k donation or less or more. And then the right side is for which player you're giving it to. And you hit enter to send it. I am missing a lot with that Gauss. You can watch right next to your reticle. It'll show you when each weapon system is ready to fire. Instead of having to watch in the upper right-hand corner of the screen, which is really awkward. Oh, and he's out of range. But not out of range of my Gauss. I mean, if I could hit him with my Gauss. I'm focusing on his right torso because that is his gun torso. That's where his heavy Gauss rifle, or Ultra Autocan 20, or whatever he's equipped with, that's where it's mounted. Oh, it's that Mauler from before. So no, the other guy that was there when I died didn't manage to kill the Mauler. That's pretty sad. It was an Epona that was trying to kill him. If it wasn't for that blasted catapult coming out there, or I mean not catapult, bushwhacker coming out there, we would have been fine. We would have taken that Mauler and Mauler out by just the two of us. So I'm... Ow. It was torso twisting to spread the damage out. Alright, so one thing I can do, now that this mech is much less useful, is I can bring it into one of these hangars, and I can hit J, and that'll sell the mech. And it'll only give me a maximum of 70% of the mech's value. And however much the mech is damaged by, it'll have its value reduced by. Alright, I'm not going to be able to get a mech or anything else properly right now, so I am going to go out in the blaze of glory. And that'll get me at least a little bit more C-bells for my my next life. I hope. And it did not. Okay, so over there on my radar is a Long Tom. I just hit B, which is I think next ally or closest ally. Not sure which key, but it's B. That shows that my friendly Long Tom's nearby. And they really benefit from having good C3 coverage, and there is none. You'd see a big blue line like this, maybe a light blue line with little talk marks in it all around to show you which assets on your team have C3. And when nobody has C3, it's very hard to be a Long Tom, because they don't get to move around much. They have to stay in one spot. Uh-oh. Wonder what that Morgu's shooting at. Either way, the good C3 mechs are mostly Owens and Ravens. So let's find one with C3. ERPPC, that's nice. Well, let's do the Raven Prime.
Assembly in progress.
Because it's got a NARC, which I can also use to draw LRMs and SRMs to targets. ATMs too, if any of my allies have them.
Monitor online. Sensors online.
If you're really conservative, you don't need that extra NARC ammo. 6 should be enough. I like to buy streak ammo instead. So I'll probably run out of ammo with that more quickly than my NARC. But for other people who aren't very accurate with their NARCs, I recommend getting NARC ammo instead. This mech has mask, which allows it to travel more quickly, but it generates heat, at least in this version of the game. So be careful. Oh, somebody else has a NARC up.
Outpost under attack.
Mask is activated with Shift key. Oh, I see. My NARC was locked on, not my SRMs. And he's out of my range. Probably best that I don't go that close.
Left torso critical. Right torso damaged. Head damaged.
Wow, look at all that money I'm getting from my allies shooting the NARC to target with missiles. So I can actually get my SRMs track onto that. And by looking up, I can arc them over. So NARCs work by attracting all allied missiles that were fired without a lock, that are within 1,000 meters of the NARC target. So one thing you can do is, if it's very close to you, within 1,000 meters, you can actually fire your missiles backwards and they will arc over and hit them. Works best with LRMs that have, 1,300 meters of range. They don't lock on to 1,300 meters, only 1,000, but they'll travel for 1,300 meters. I wasted all my NARCs. I didn't get locks fast enough. What?
Right arm damaged.
Oh, well, I was almost correct about that ammo thing. And that Long Tom's going to need more help than just a mech with C3. Because the enemy is charging in close. Alright. Let's buy something nice. Ooh. This is not the best mech for this situation because we're going to be fighting up close. And this mech is not good at that. But it does have C3. So if it survives their onslaught, I'll be able to support my allies more effectively.
Weapons online. All systems notified.
So this thing's got lots of equipment. Bloodhound probe, which gives it plus 400 meters of radar range. And it also has C3 and Guardian electronic countermeasures to reduce their detection range of me by 500. But I'm within 500, so they can definitely see me. And I'm running away, because that is a Mad Cat Mark II, and it's probably better than me at this range. And that narc's not going to help attract missiles down here.
Delta, outpost captured. Charlie, Bull, base under attack.
But if I narc that guy, it'll help, because he's now outside. My LRMs are inside their minimum range, so they're not going to be helpful. Kill him before he kills me, please. I can hit E on my keyboard to select nearest enemy. So I bought extra narcs this time because I figure I'm going to go through them a lot more quickly than those LRMs. Alright, did not hit that Chevy this time. Try arcing him a little more. Ah, my arm! So they reach 0 tickets, so even though there should be 15 minutes left on the clock, it's reduced the time on the clock to 1 minute and 16 seconds. Once a team hits 0, the other team has that much time to get the other team to 0. At that point, whichever team has the most surviving players wins. If there's a draw, just by sheer number of tickets on both sides, like if there's 1 ticket left on both sides, then it's an actual draw. But if there's 0 tickets left on both sides, then the winner of the draw is determined by the number of players still alive. So this thing also has double laser anti-missile systems, which really helps shoot things down. Alright, that's it for now. I'll try doing another of these videos soon.